right? As I said, I hope that both categories of students are here. So some are fresh students doing A levels in 2024, but some students are not fresh students. They just want to cover the syllabus quickly. So this class for both students who are doing A level ICT. Actually, it doesn't matter which year you are doing A level ICT, but the thing is, we'll be covering the syllabus in this class also again. So in today, you have the paper class by 7:30. Please participate to that too, and that will cover the revision and the paper stuff. Right. This is actually from the scratch, from very beginning, we will be covering the theory stuff, as well as we will do some questions, not the deep, we will be doing some questions just to evaluate what we have learned. Okay, the number systems. This is one of the main and very important chapter in your syllabus. Why we are learning number systems? That I need to address first. Why we are learning number systems? Because in computer, so we are using like this symbol most of the places. I think you have seen this symbol. We are using most of the place. My drawings are not nice, I know, but it indicates 1 and 0. And this is basically used for power button, on and off button, right? It says there are two status. Status number 1 is on, status number 2 is off. It has two status. Status number 1 is on, and status number 2 is off. These are the two status, right? So that is very famous, this symbol 1, 0. This can be something like this too. There are some power buttons looks like this, but some looks like this 1, 0. Basically, this symbol says you can turn on and turn off two things, but you can't do this halfway. Barget turn on, barget turn off back. Turn echo on, echo off. Only on and off. Echo on, nothing off. Those are the things that you can do with this. Right. This is called binary. Binary means you have two decision status. Right. So computer uses this stage. Why? Let me explain that first before we begin. Computer uses this status to do anything. So not just the computer, actually any electronic device. So let me go to DC, basically DC circuit construction kit. I'll send you the link. You can also try this. It means very easy. This is a simulation software, actually web-based simulation tasks given by Colorado University, ranging from the kids to university students can do their studies using their animation, the interactive animations. Here I'm sending you the link. You can also try this using your mobile phone or just using your computer. You can get exposure to this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use lab, this one, lab. Okay, then I'll be getting the components, basically the lab equipments. Right, let me do basic explanation, right, how things can be done using this on-off status. So even though we think the on-off status are primitive, even though we think the on-off status are very primitive, but right? So this is like giving, this can like move, and this can be very complicated at some level. Actually, logic board design level. So in computer, there are like in the motherboard is basically we call sometimes logic board, right? MOBO or the logic board. In mobile phone also the logic board is there. And not only that, the processor is also a logical chip. And memory is also a logical chip. When we are designing such memories, logic board, processors, then actually the switch behavior we have to use at the extreme level. උපරිම මට්ටමට අපි use කරන්න වෙනවා. හැබැයි එච්චර අපි කරන්නේ නැහැ. දැන් CPU design කියලා subject එකක් තියෙනවා. There's a subject called CPU design in university. ඔයගොල්ලෝ engineering faculty යන්න ඕන එකට. Computer engineering කියන්නේ මේ normally the Monato University වගේ ගියාම but then tech කරන කට්ටියට පොඩි restriction එකක් තියෙනවා මම හිතන්නේ ඒගොල්ලන්ට දැන් නම් තියෙනවා ගොඩක් ඒවා Monato University එකේ. අර maths කරලා engineering යන කට්ටියට electronic engineering පැත්තෙන් study කරනවා නම් මොන මොරටුවේ මේ subject එක CPU design කියන subject එක අහු වෙනවා electronic engineering වලට. හැබැයි දැන් computer engineering computer science යන කට්ටියට සාමාන්‍යයෙන් පොඩ්ඩක් හරි touch එකක් තියෙනවා. Right? There are students doing computer science, computer technology, engineering, IT, and they are also willing to learn, and they are also given a chance to learn this subject. But this is basically coming under electronic engineering degrees. Actually speaking, frankly, computer is also coming under electronic engineering. Computer කියන එකත් මේ electronic engineering එකකින් තමයි එන්නේ. So you can, like, once you complete degree, you can get the registration or the membership of IEEE. ඔයගොල්ලෝ ඕන university මේ දැන් මේක ඉවර කරාට පස්සේ IEEE දැනටත් ගන්න පුළුවන් student membership එක. හැබැයි degree එකක් කරද්දී IEEE membership එක ගන්න පුළුවන්. So what is IEEE? Have you heard of that? අහලා තියෙනවද IEEE? Yes. IEEE is basically Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers, right? Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers. කියන එක තමයි IEEE කියලා කියන්නේ. Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers. So let me show that. So IEEE, Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers. That is the world's largest, the world's largest technical professional organization dedicated to advanced technology for benefit humanity. So this is basically the largest engineering society in the world. And you can see Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers is a professional association. ලංකාවේ තියෙන්නේ Engineers Association, IESL, yes, IESL වගේ. So this membership you can obtain. Membership එක ඔයාලට ගන්න පුළුවන්. So like when you complete IT degree, right? IT degree, මොකද දැන් ගොඩක් කට්ටිය මේක දන්නේ නැහැ. That's why I'm telling in the beginning. So once you complete this IT degree, you can get the membership of electrical electronic engineers. That is amazing, right? Because like you are doing IT, but you are categorized under electronic engineers. So that is the world categorization, but most of the Sri Lankans are not aware about that. Not just the Sri Lankans, most of the Asians, but the Indians are well aware. They know things, they are searching things, and they are learning these things very well. But normally, anyway, most of the students, they generally they don't know the IT falls under electronic engineering. But it is true. ICT falls under electronic engineering. Therefore, you can register with them in this society. Actually, this is very important because you can go to their professional conferences and present the papers. So, you know, degrees karam, you know, papers publish karanne hema. You know, we research hema karam. When we do researches, we can publish that in international conferences and national conferences. ජාතික ජාත්‍යන්තර සම්මන්ත්‍රණවල අපිට publish කරන්න පුළුවන්. research කරන අලුත් සොයාගැනීම් මේ වගේ දේවල් කරා. ඉතින් මේක ඔයාලට පුළුවන් IEEE conference වල part මේවා කරා. මේ වගේම IEEE වෙන රටවල් වල conferences organize කරනවා technology ගැන. ඒ වගේම මේගොල්ලෝ හැම වෙලේම අලුත් technology සාම මේවා ඒගොල්ලෝ හරහා standards විදිහට සමානලට අඳුරනවා. Therefore, so getting membership is very important. Right? ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයාලටත් මේ goal එක තියාගන්න පුළුවන්. One day you can become an electronic engineer by doing ICT. So keep that goal, because like ICT is not just a technological subject. මෙහෙමයි දැන් අපි ගොඩක් හිතන්නේ මේක A level pass වෙන්න ඕන කියලා. මේව එකෙන් අයින් වෙන්න. A level pass වෙන්න ඕන නැත්තේ නෑ. හැබැයි එතනින් එහාට goal එකක් තියාගන්න. මොකද අර කියලා තියනවානේ මේ හඳ දිහා බලාගෙන උඩට කොහොම හරි ගලක් ගහුවොත් අඩු ගානේ පොල් ගහකට උඩින් හරි ගලක් ගහ ගන්න පුළුවන් කියලා ලොකු aims තියාගන්න, ලොකු goals තියාගන්න. Keep bigger goals. Then the small, then definitely you can actually achieve shorter goals. The IEEE membership එක අරගෙන electronic engineer කෙනෙක් විදිහට වැඩ කරනවා කියන goal එක තියාගත්තොත් කවදා හරි electronic engineer කෙනෙක් විදිහට ලෝකෙට වැඩ කරනවා කියන goal එක තියාගත්තොත් at least you can pass your A levels with a very very good result. එහෙම තියාගන්න ලොකු goals. කමන්න ඒක හොඳයි. Right. Why I'm telling this, actually I'm also a member of electrical and electronic engineers, because like most of the people, like they thought that doing ICT won't help. Even my parents thought, right? They thought that doing ICT is like some, so even they were teachers, but they didn't have proper knowledge about this field. They didn't help me, they didn't motivate me to do ICT. But I did ICT because of my motivation, because we didn't have ICT in A-levels. අපිට A-level වලට ICT තිබ්බෙත් නැහැ. But we got interest because we love the subject and we found it, and then we went to the university and get updated our degree. Then the masters, likewise, we continued. So that is how we did. We discovered that by ourselves. But you have the chance. You are doing ICT in A-levels. There is a chance because you have selected the subject. Is there in advanced level. Then you have idea. You are a young generation having ICT exposure, right? Okay, without taking much time, let's get the idea, right? When you have this idea, okay, let's electronic circuit, switch is the basic input element. Why I'm telling like that? When there's a battery, bulb, you can also do that by connecting this. Just connect the battery to bulb and this end to this end, and also this edge to here, and then connecting this to here. So I'm taking few wires and connecting this. Why I'm telling battery is the basic input element. If you need, this is the link again, in case if you miss. This is the link again. Right? Then so why this switch is input element? Because when you turn on the switch, bulb will turn off the switch, bulb will turn off. On, off, on, off. Simple. This is the very basic, simplest circuit that you can try out with. When you turn on the switch, bulb will turn on. When you turn off the switch, bulb will turn off. Turn on, off. So that can be, the bulb can be controlled on and off. Bulb can be controlled by using this switch. So for the electronics, the very basic input is this. Actually, this can be denoted by using ones and zeros. This can be represented, denoted. Make a pen and a 1 0. Okay, well, කොහොමද? 0 is this off status. Bulb එකත් අපිට පෙන්වන්න පුළුවන් 0 වලින්. Okay, so we can just use something like this. So let's use a small table. This table later we will learn as truth table. Right? This table we will later learn this as truth table. But for the moment you don't want, I'm just explaining the lesson still. What is the lesson that I'm explaining? I'm telling why we need number systems in ICT. Actually, to explain that, I need to give you the basic knowledge. Here I'm providing the basic knowledge. Actually, my input is switch. My output is bulb. So switch has two status. Switch has two status. What are those two status? One is on state and the other one is off state. Bulb has two status. So that is on state and off state. So see how binary is created, right? So the on state can be denoted by switch on, it's 1, switch off, it is 0. Bulb on is 1, bulb off is 0. Right, then let's match this. When switch on, the bulb will turn on. When switch on the bulb, bulb will turn on. When switch off the bulb, bulb will turn off. This is how you are representing this. On will turn on and off will turn off. On will turn on the bulb, off will turn off the bulb. So this is the language that we use to represent the circuitry understand. What machines can understand. What machines can understand is basically these two status, on off. Switch can understand switch on off. Bulb can understand on off. Actually, power on, power off. Whether current is there or current is not there. Presence and absence of power. Presence and absence of electrons. The electron තියනවද නැද්ද කියන එක. Power එක තියනවද නැද්ද කියන එක. Current එක තියනවද නැද්ද කියන එක. On the off the කියන එක. මේවා තමයි electronic circuit වලට තේරෙන්නේ. Battery එකට තේරෙන්නේ මොකක්ද? What battery can understand? Do I have current or not? Current එක තියනවද නැද්ද? What a bulb can understand? Do I get the current or not? What a switch can understand? Do I pass the current or not? මම current එක pass කරනවද නැද්ද? Based on that, the output is created. එතකොට then switch එක decide කරනවා මම current එක pass කරනවා, switch on. I'll pass the current, switch on. Then bulb will decide, I get the current. Wow, I will turn on. Bulb will decide. Battery, do I have a current? Yes, I will supply the current. එතකොට එහෙම තමයි battery එක හිතන්නේ. I will supply the current කියලා battery එක හිතනවා. I will move the current කියලා switch එක හිතනවා. Switch will think that I will move the current. Battery will think that I will supply the current. The bulb will think I will get the current. Based on that, this circuit working. So this is called, this 1-0 representation is basically called binary. 1-0 representation is called binary, and the language which is made up with this representation is called machine language. Actually speaking, computers cannot understand these ones and zeros too, but it can understand the state changes, or this two state changes it can understand. Therefore, it works. Right? That is called the machine language. Right? There is this is the very simple machine language which can be understood by this circuit. But circuit to circuit, the machine language will be very complex. When there is a IC, right? When there is a IC, and when there is a transistor, it is easy. But when there's a IC, so machine language can be very complicated. It's simple. It's a simple IC machine language. Let's see. For a simple IC, what is the machine language? Or small IC machine language. Let's see. It's ICE. It's not ICE. Small IC, integrated circuit. Right, small integrated circuit. So you can take this is integrated circuit here. So you can say this is the integrated circuit. So there is a machine language. So we later learned this as actually machine language is not it's very difficult to study. Therefore, we will keep that as assembly, right? So the second format, shortened version of machine language is assembly language. The shortened version of machine language is called assembly language. And then you can go to this and use right, circuit to circuit. This can be varied. And these circuits are very complex switches. So depend on this IC, right? Depend here, you can see these ICs are also created with logic gates. We will learn them in this lesson. After learning that, we will learn how to pass signals using these logic gates, and that is what the called machine language. What are the possibilities? What are the possible ways of passing signals to this IC? This is very small IC. The possible ways of passing signals to this IC is known as, that is actually kind of syllabus. The main IC syllabus. IC to IC, the syllabus or the machine language, or we call that ISA. Instruction set architecture is different. Right? ISA, මේ වචන පොඩ්ඩක් technical ඇති දැනට. So IC to IC. So ISA, instruction set architecture, is different. Right? Different architectures are there, different ICs. Right? So we will here, you can see, this is very good example. You can see how it works, but this you cannot read. This, but let's go through this very quickly. You can see this memory. Memory has this 1-0 representation, and this is actually called the data path and the control and the IO. Right? Basically, we will learn this in our second lesson, how these things are working together. Actually, it's working with this language, the machine language. But the thing is very complicated when it becomes a complicated circuit. But this is very simple circuit, just on-off circuit, and it is simple. Okay, so just write small note and begin. I'll give you the tune. but this is not related to the tune. This is the fundamental or the very basic. I will provide you this tune, right? Okay, before that, let's write down the background. After writing down the background, let's move to the tune. This way you have never learned, I know that, even in school and even in a class, you will not learn like this, because this is something it's very fundamental. Some students think this is too easy, and therefore they decide not to learn from this class, because thinking that it is too easy. But they will come in the middle when I'm doing Python and all, they will try to join the class, but unfortunately that time they feel it is too hard to study. So that is the real situation. I need to tell that to you. Initially you will think this class is boring and too easy, but when you are, after I set the foundation, you try to join in the class. Once I set the foundation, then if you try to join the class, you feel the class is very complicated. Then you will think, oh, this class is too hard to, then you forget about joining the class. I cannot help you. How can I help? Because without having a foundation, I don't think that you can build your future. So have a strong foundation first. We write down the heading. Heading is need of number systems. So the main heading is number systems. Under that, the need of number systems. Then quickly draw this circuit. And write down the statements after the circuit. ICT is a discipline coming under electronic engineering. Circuits are one of the basic concepts. Circuits is one of the basic concepts in electronic engineering. The very basic input in the above circuit is, okay, if you need time, please let me know. I can slow down. The very basic input in the above circuit is a switch. Is the switch. The very basic output is the bulb. We can turn on the bulb using the switch, and turn off it. We can turn on the bulb using switch and turn off it. Status of the switch can be represented in two simple digits, 1 and 0. In two simple digits, 1 and 0. And status of the bulb will also or is the status of the verb is also represented using same symbols. From a small circuit to bigger IC, LSI, VLSI, and ULSI from small circuit to bigger IC, or LSI, VLSI, or ULSI, things can be explained using these two digits. Things will be complicated when circuit is, things will be complicated when circuit is complex. The language unique, language specific to the electronic unit, example IC, LSI, electronic unit. The language specific to electronic unit is built using binaries, and it is called machine language. It was easily understandable by machines, but we will get headache, right? But you saw an image of machine language here. This is machine language, this is 1.0 language. But when you see that, it will definitely get headache when you learn this in the engineering level. No, it's not easy. It's not easy. It's really, really hard. Right? But not by human beings. We use high-level languages to instruct machines, and there are intermediate translators which can convert that language, convert those languages into machine languages. Machine language. But we are not going to write using that, so that is too complicated. For this one, it is only 1 0, very small diagram. You can see it's on the table having 2 rows, but then it will become complex, right? So this will become complex. We will learn that, right? But later, there are some component called translators. These translators will do this automatically. It will convert our codes into machine language. When we tell something, okay, this is a programming interface, this is called Python, you will be learning this in future. When I say print hello, so it will simply print hello. But this is very complicated process, very, very complicated process. But intermediate software called compiler and translator will convert that to the machine language, and machine can understand what user has said or what developer has said, and according to that, the output is given. This is very heavily complicated process if you study. This is you for you. It's you can see like print hello will print hello is very simple. So පිස්සුද කියලා හිතා ඒවා මොනවාද මේ මම කියන්නේ මේක complicated වෙන්නේ කොහොමද මේ print hello කොහොම hello print වෙනවා. ඒ අපිටනේ. හැබැයි මේ hello කියන එක මොකද්ද මේ කිව්වේ කියලා තේරුම් ගන්න ඕන. wire දිගේ යන්න ඕන. wire දිගේ ගියාට පස්සේ මේක monitor එකට යන්න ඕන. monitor එකට යන්න කලින් process එකට යන්න ඕන. process එකෙන් මේක හැදෙන්න ඕන. එතන calculation එකක් වෙන්න ඕන මොකද්ද මේ user කිව්වේ මොනවද දැන් අපි කරන්න ඕන කියලා ඊළඟට යා calculate කරන්න ඕන මෙතන මේ වෙන්නේ මොකද්ද කියලා මේ වෙන දේ calculate කරාට පස්සේ කොයි screen එකේ කොයි හරියද මේක display කරන්න ඕන කියන එක calculate කරන්න ඕන after calculating it has to send this term like monitor එකේ pixels නැත්නම් monitor එකේ තියෙන මේ dots තමයි මෙයා මෙහෙවන්නේ monitor එකේ තියෙන color dots ඒවා මෙහෙවලා මේ වගේ එකක් color කරලා අපිට පෙන්වන්නත් ඕන. So that is a very complicated. We'll learn that process, but it is complicated. Right, okay, please write down this part first, then we'll move to the lesson quickly. Tell me if you're done. If you're done, please indicate. Okay, now let's move to the lesson. Now you know why this is needed, why we need to learn the language, these binaries. Actually, when we learn binaries, there is another thing to understand, right? So now knowing binaries is enough. No, knowing binary is a kind of like that is like knowing alphabet. Because if you are in electronic engineering, you should know the alphabet. Alphabet of electronic engineering is binaries. But when you learn the alphabet, still you can't talk. Because you need to learn words, you need to learn spellings, you need to learn grammar, and you need to learn the coherence, how to build sentences, how to express that. So all these things you need to learn. Then only you can talk, and you can talk and you can write and listen. All these things depends on your language skills. Anyway, these are just letters, binaries. Button. So the binaries are like this. Let's say this is a binary. These are just 1 zeros, 1 zeros. Okay, nothing is there. But then we will learn how to make this a short code. Okay, you can write these binaries like this, 3 by 3, and make it shorter. Represent it in a shorter way. Let me write the shorter code for this. Then you can write 0, 4, 2. I'll explain this later. 2, 5, 4, 5, 6, 6, 1, 2, 5, 2. So this is the short code for this binary. This lengthy binary. Actually, how I have done, there is a system called octal numbers. This is the octal code. Okay, then let's say in the binaries, they are something like this, and you can make it even more shorter by writing like this. Then this can be written as 0, A, 9, 5. This is 12, 13, B. Okay, this is even more shorter, and this is called hexadecimal. That is why we are learning this, the octal and hexadecimal number systems. Because, so when you know the binary, we should know how to make it shorter. To make it shorter, we need octals and hexadecimal actually. So let me show one thing. If I go to my terminal, this you can do in using in Windows computer. You can access in Windows computer. You can access your command prompt. If I write ifconfig there in Windows computer, you can write ipconfig. You can get the details of IP addresses and Ethernet addresses, all these things. This, can you see this is INET access. So this is in hexadecimal. This is in hexadecimal. And so this is Ethernet address. You can see it's in hexadecimal. And this subnet mask, net mask, this is in hexadecimal. This is in hexadecimal. This is net mask. And this is in decimal. This is in hexadecimal. Right? So octal is like intermediate. Octal is not much used, but mostly hexadecimal. These things are there. Okay, let's see. Let's go to a web page. Okay, let's see this web page. You can right click and go to view page source. You can see the code. You can see the code. So in this code, can you see in this code? This is the website code that is given. Let's move down. Okay, can you see the bunch of code here? So this is hexadecimal. This is this code is hexadecimal. You can see here. This code is hexadecimal. Right? This is in web programming. Python. So there are more right there. Let me show. Okay, let's say colors, basically it's given using hexadecimal code. The page is lengthy, therefore to find something it took me a lot of time. Okay, let's go to a very simple page. Google. Right click, view page source. So this is the code for Google. Right? If you explore these things, you can see here the colors are given here. These codes are hexadecimal. You can see the code is hexadecimal. Here, these are colors. This is how colors are represented. Okay, so we will learn this. This is in like if you are maybe if there are students who are doing A levels in 2023 and 22 are here. So you can remember when you learn when you have learned HTML, you have learned this color code in HTML, which is RGB, red, green, blue color codes. That is the A level examination. Actually, this is represented using hexadecimal codes. And if you are in 2022 or 23 batch and learn networking, you have learned the IP addresses and net addresses, if config. You have learned these things. So if you have learned a networking lesson in 23 or 22 batch, you have already learned. So there can be students who have not participated in my classes. It's okay, but anyway, in networking lesson, we learn the Ethernet addresses, IP addresses, and but if you are in 2024 class, you will learn this in future. But I want to tell you, the basics is very important. That is why I'm spending a lot of. I'm very slow at the beginning. Global very slow. I'm begin. Hey, to a patang and what him kadavi the unknown. Right? Him karan known Samara. මේ සමහර ගුරුවරු මේ ලෙසන්ස් වල උඩින් යන්නේ උඩින් ෆ්ලයි කරලා ගෙන යන්නේ. ඒ කියන්නේ පටන් ගත්තම හරි ළමයි දැන් එන නම්බර් සිස්ටම්ස් වල මොකද ඒක ලේසිනේ. ලෙසන් එකේ උඩින් යන්නේ ඉතින් ෆ්ලයි කරගෙන යන්නේ. හැබැයි මෙහෙම ෆ්ලයි කරගෙන ගියාම එතකොට අර නෙට්වර්කින් කරන කාලෙට HTML කරන කාලෙට Python කරන කාලෙට ළමයි ටීචර් නම් ෆ්ලයි කරගෙන යනවා ළමයි අඳාගෙන යනවා. ඇයි? The reason is without strong foundation, the teacher is trying to build advanced skills and students will think ah foundation ඕමනාද basic මල් ඒවා කර ඉන්න ඕනේ නැහැ කියලා එකපාරටම යනවා advanced ඒවා කරන්න. මෙලෝ idea එකක් නැහැ. මොකද්ද උනේ කියන්නේ? Don't be like that. So spend some more time on the fundamentals. This is very important. Right? When you learn, when you have strong foundation or strong fundamental, then you can, without any doubt, you can face the examination and put very good score. I'm not telling it is A pass. You can get beyond A pass, something beyond A pass. Actually, that pass is for your life. So build the strong foundation is very, very important. Today's actually I started doing lecturing in 16 years ago. I started doing lecturing, teaching. I was working as a teacher in Wesley College. I was working as an instructor tutor in IDA. I was working as a lecturer in ESOF and a senior lecturer in ESOF. And I was lecturing for London Metropolitan University students. I was lecturing for BIT, Bachelor of Information Technology, Columbia University students, and BIT, Morato University students. And I did a little lecturing for, little teaching for A-level students. The A-level අඩුවෙම කරලා තියෙන්නේ. උගන්වලා තියෙන්නේ. හැබැයි වැඩිපුර උගන්වලා තියෙන degree students ලට ඒ වගේම ඊටත් basic උගන්වලා තියෙනවා school students ලට school වල ඉන්න කාලේ. Right? But when it comes to advanced level, most of the students are searching for A pass. Or some students line තමාර students line අන්තිම මාස 3 වගේ ඇවිල්ලා කොහොම හරි මොකක් හරි pass එකක් ගන්න. හැබැයි ඒගොල්ලෝ දන්නේ නැහැ මේක කොච්චර critical ද කියලා මේ life එකට. ඉතින් මම කියනවා train වෙන්න කියලා කියනවා. මට ඒක අරන් දෙන්න බැරි කමක් නෑ. ඒක නෙවෙයි හැබැයි life එක. So if you get very good knowledge in ICT, definitely you will do more than that. You will earn 10 times of my salary within next 3 years. ඒක assured. මම දැන් ගන්නවා වගේ 10 ගුණයක් ඔයාලට උපයන්න පුළුවන් ඊළඟ අවුරුදු 3 ඇතුළත. හැබැයි ඔයාලා හරියට ඉගෙන ගත්තොත්. Right? So that is really important. මොකද අපේ level එක නෙමෙයි ඕගොල්ලන්ගේ level එක. ඕගොල්ලන්ට අපිට වැඩි තැනකට යන්න පුළුවන්. That is the nature of ICT. ඕගොල්ලන්ට වැඩි පොඩි කට්ටියට ඕගොල්ලන්ට වැඩි තැනකට යන්න පුළුවන්. දැන් අනිත් සබ්ජෙක්ට් වල මේ තියෙනවනේ වයස යන්න කොණ්ඩේ පැහෙන්න තට්ටේ එන්න. එතකොට තමයි සීනියර් වෙලා සල්ලි වැඩියෙන් හම්බෙන්නේ. ડોක්ටර් කෙනෙක් කියමුණා. මම දන්න ડોක්ටර් කෙනෙක් හිටියා. That doctor was telling like Dasun, I'm waiting till I get bald head and gray hair. මොකද ડોක්ටර් මේ අවුරුත් එහෙම කියන්නේ. මොකද එතකොට තමයි මේ Dasun patient ලා එන්නේ. නැත්නම් මගේ කොණ්ඩේ කළුවට තියලා මේ තට්ටේ නැතුව තියෙනකොට patient ලා හිතන්නේ මෙයා මේ තරුණ ડોක්ටර් කෙනෙක් මෙයා ළඟට යන්න ඕනේ නැහැ කියලා. ස්පෙෂලිස්ට් උනා. ඒ හින්දා දැන් මම බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ මට නිකන් තට්ටේ තියෙන ඔළුවකුයි කොණ්ඩේ පැහුණු පැහිලා එහෙම එනකන් තමයි දැන් මම ඉන්නේ. එතකොට මට මීට වැඩිය හොඳට earn කරන්න පුළුවන්. He was just kidding, but that is the nature in that subject, right? But in ICT it's other way, right? When you are a young talented guy, you can earn more than me. That I trust. Mage students like that සාමාන්‍යයෙන් per month like 3 million 6 million earnings they are earning. So they did A levels with me. Like when I start doing A levels in schools, they did A levels, and now they are in certain place. Some are married even. Actually, one student is Anandi and got second place in Ireland, and he's migrated and he's not here even. I'm not promoting them normally. I'm not telling my ranks and all this, because that is not my ranks actually. I cannot tell this. That is personal to the students. Student has worked hard to get that rank, not me. I just guided. Actually, he has a problem, right? When he joined my class, he has a fundamental problem. The mama liyanwa minihata ena awul man liyanakota mokada. So like he is trying to be perfect in English. Idra mama perfect na in English. Then e kolla ena perfect English ge බලනවා. දැන් මම මේක pronounce කරා. ඊට පස්සේ ඔය කොහොම නෙමෙයි pronounce කරන්නේ. ඊළඟ දැන් මට කියනවා chat එකෙන් හරි zoom නෙමෙයි ඒ දවස්වල physical class. චිට් එකක් වෙනවා. So ඔයක pronounce කරන්න ඔහොම නෙමෙයි. So මෙතන දුන්න note එක මෙතන is නෙමෙයි ආ හරි මොකක් හරි කියලා එවුන. ඊට පස්සේ දැන් මට එක සැරයක් යකා නැගලා මම මේ උඩ බැන්න දැන් මට ඔය ගන්න බැරිව result එක ගන්න බැරුව දැන් ඉන්නේ. එකම හේතුව දැන් මේ subject එක ඉගෙන ගන්න IT නේ. මේ IT වල English කර ඉන්න කියලා තමයි මට ඔක වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. So don't do that. So learn the subject. So I'm not an English master. I cannot teach you English. You know better than me, I know that, but I cannot teach you English. So forget about my English grammatical and spelling, whatever the mistakes, and learn only the ICT. Take ICT from me, go to your English lecturer and think about the English. I strongly advise him, and actually I'm happy that he got the second place in Ireland with, and he got that laptop as Ashan student. So I think his news was there in the news also. Now he's an engineer and earning closer to closer to $500,000 salary, right, per month. So that is the nature, right? You also work like that. You also work like that. Forget about the other things. Forget about whether the among ඔයාලට තියෙන ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවනේ. මම දැන් මාස් ලෙක්චරර් මාස් ටීචින් කරන කෙනෙක්ද? එහෙම කරනවද? Physical class කරනවද? නෑ මම කරන්නේ online. මට වෙලාවක් නෑ physical class කරන්න. I don't have time. I have some other businesses to look after. Therefore, I don't have time. Don't think about the mood. Just learn ICT from me. මගේ තියෙන දෙයක් තියෙනවා නම් ඔයාලා මගෙන් මේ දැනුම ගන්න. That is enough. I don't mind if you are watching the recording without coming to the classes. That is also okay. If you don't have time to come to the classes, watch the recordings. I will provide you the recordings. Watch that and learn. So that is totally up to you. Okay. So anyway, so please understand this is why we are learning these other numbers. Let's move to the lesson now. Now we have the foundation. Need to learn the lesson. Okay. Any number system has a set of digits. Decimal number system, for an example, we are using decimal number systems in our day-to-day life. It has 10 symbols, 0 to 9. Decimal is not having 10, right? It's 0 to 9. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Any number system has a base. For decimal number system, base is 10. Base is the foundation. Based on that only, the counting happens or the calculations happen. Why? So base is 10. Each time when you advance a digit, it is 10 times. I think you can remember the abacus that you have learned in your childhood. චූටි කාලේ ඉගෙන ගත්ත abacus එක මතකයි නේද? මෙහෙම තිබ්බේ. එකේ ගොඩවල් 10 ගොඩවල් 100 ගොඩවල් 10 ගොඩවල් 10 ගොඩවල් ඔහොම තිබ්බනේ abacus එකේ දාලා බෝල දාලා ඉගෙන ගත්ත චූටි කාලේ. Just think about the abacus. Okay, so when the base 10 number system comes, base 10 numbers, you have ones here. In the next level, you have tens. It was 1 into 10. Right? Then you have, let's say, hundreds. Hundreds. 10 into 10. Then you have 10 into 10 into 10. That is thousands. Then you have 10 into 10 into 10 into 10. 10 thousands. Actually, if I ask, what is this digit? What is this number? Yes, tell me. Just tell me this number. Come on. Can it win? So my drawings are done. So what is this number? Okay, I have finished my drawing. So read this number. If this is decimal, you have ones there. You have tens there. How many tens? 2 into tens. 2 tens are there. Unfortunately, no hundreds. 0 into 100. No hundreds. 1000s. 1 into 1000. Okay, I got some answers in chat. I'll read that. Then 3 into 10,000. Okay. So this is how the digit values are there. 3 into 10,000, 1 into 1,000, 0 into 100, 2 into 10, and 1. Okay, let's read the number. Let's go to the chat and see your answer. Everybody can try. Come on, don't be lazy. This is very basic. Right, what is the number? Number is here 3 into 10,000 is 30,000. So 31,021 is the number. I made 10 in 10,000, 30,000. 1,000 into 1 is 1,000. Altogether 31,000. No hundreds, 0 hundreds, 2 tens, 21 ones. So you are reading this number as 31,021. That is how you are reading this number. Actually, base is 10. Why base is 10? It is always 10 times. So we can write this, the first digit as 10 to the power 0. 10 to the power 0, any number to its power 0 is 1. 10 to the power 1 is 10. 10 to the power 2 is 10 into 10 to 10, 10 into 10. 10 to the power 3 is 10 into 10 into 10. 10 to the power 4 is 10 into 10 into 10 into 10. 10 to the power 5 is 10 into 10 into 10 into 10 into 10 into 10. So that is 10 to the power 5. But the other hand, when you go from left to right, what will happen? 1000, 10 to the power 3, 1000. Divide by 10, 100. Divide by 10, 100 divided by 10 is 10. 10 divided by 10 is 1. 1 divided by 10 is 0.1. 0.1 divided by 10 is 0.01. 0.01 divided by 10 is 0.001. So this will happen when you go to the right hand side. Left to right. Left to right, the value will be divided by the base. The base, like position value. Position to position, when you go from left to right, you have to divide. From right to left, it multiplies. Left to right, it divides. Right to left, it multiplies. This is how things are happening in a number system. Okay. So then what is the value? What is the most valuable digit here? In this example, what is the most valuable digit? We call most significant digit, MSD. What is that digit? Yes, is it 7 or 8 or 2 or 3 or 3 or 2 or 4? What is the most valuable digit here? Or the most significant digit? Yes. Why don't you talk? 7. Okay, 7. 7 is the most valuable digit. So what is the least valuable digit?
4.
4. The digit 4 has value 0.001. Digit 7 has value base 1000. So 1007, so 7000. 4 into 001 is 0.004. So that is the least valuable. Actually, this is called the leftmost digit, LMD, leftmost digit. This is called the rightmost digit. In a number system, leftmost digit will get the highest value and the rightmost digit will get the lowest value. The base you have to write as a small, using small letters, but normally decimal wala api liyanne naha base එක. Right? Because that is the normal number system that we are using. Similarly, we have some more number systems. If you need a screenshot, you can take screenshot now related to this abacus, because it was not there in the note. It is not there. Okay, let's see how other numbers are working. So similar to this, other number systems are also working. Then the binary numbers, octal numbers, and hexadecimal numbers. See how it works. Binary numbers, base is 2. 2 digits. Similar way you can write. Binary numbers, 1 into 2, 2 into 2, that into 2, that into 2. Likewise, it always multiplies by 2. Then decimal වල 10 ගුණයක් නේ උනේ. Binary වල 2 ගුණ වෙනවා. Right? Binary will be 2 times. You can say 1 into 2 times is 2. 2 into 2 is 4. 4 into 2 is 8. How the power increase? 2 to the power 0, 2 to the power 1, 2 to the power 2, 2 to the power 3. Power will increase by 1, but the value will increase by 2 times. Here, power will increase by 1. Right to left, power will increase by 1. Value will be increased by 10 times. Power will increase by 1. Value will be increased by 2 times. Here, power will increase by 1. Value will be increased by 8 times. Power will be increased by 1 here. The value will be increased by 16 times. Right? Power will be increased by 1 and the value will be increased by 16. That is hexadecimal. Here, power is increasing by 1, value is increasing by 2. Power is increasing by 1, value is increasing by. Okay, that is the nature. In the other hand, power decreased by 1, the value will be divided by 2. Power decreased by 1, value will be divided by 8. Power decreased by 1, the value will be divided by 16. That is the nature. Okay, that is the summary of the lesson. Now lesson is done. You may wonder, right? Lesson theory part. But we need to do a lot of calculations to understand how these number systems are working. Okay. So I'll give you the note, but for today, shall we copy down this part? This is little, this part is important, that's why. From here to here, let me highlight the part that you need to copy. This section, right? So this is the summary of this lesson. Actually, I'll give this summary lesson, right? Mama note denne pataranga note. Vibhage lang vela nikan odin baluwama matak wena notes thama denne. Habai okkoma thiyenne oluwe. E wenakota you need to fine tune your head, right? Okay, please write down this part. Actually, this MSD means most significant digit. LMD means leftmost digit. LSD means least significant digit. I'll zoom it and show. Zoom first of all, please copy this very soon, quickly. It's like a race. So this is MSD LSD thing. Actually, this is summary of today's lesson. We have learned that the number systems are important because it is used by the computers in the electronic level. It is basics to the electronics. We learn about that, why number systems are important. Then we have learned about 4 different number systems with the respective symbols. And there's a specialty in hexadecimal too, you can see. So what is the specialty in hexadecimal? Here in the hexadecimal, you have here letters. 0 to 9, after that you have letters A, B, C, D, E, F. Why there are letters? Because after that, if you write 10, you are reusing the symbol 1 and 0. You are reusing symbol 1 and 0. 1, 0, you are reusing. But that is not good because this should be unique. The symbol should be unique. If you are reusing, how can you decide the positional value? Someone can argue this is one position and this is another position. කෙනෙක් කියන්න පුළුවන් මේ තියෙන්නේ එකේ ගොඩවල්. මේ තියෙන්නේ 10 ගොඩවල් කියලා. This is 1, this is 16. Someone can argue. Someone can argue, no, this is just the single digit 10. තව කෙනෙක් කියන්න පුළුවන් මේ තියෙන single digit 10 එකේ just once කියලා. ඒකේව විතරයි කියලා. හැබැයි A කියලා තිබ්බොත්. If it is A, no one can argue, no. A is a single digit. No one can say, hey, this is 2 digits. Then it's definitely once. Then තියෙන එකේ ගොඩවල්ම තමයි. A කොහෙද තිබ්බොත්. හරි. නැත්තම් කවුරු හරි තැනක 10 කියලා දැක්කොත් එයා කියන්න පුළුවන් ඔය තියෙන්නේ 10 කියන නම්බර් එක හෙක්සා වලින් දැක්කොත් 10 කියන symbol එක මෙතන තිබ්බනම් if 10 was there, someone can tell. So this is 1 and this is 16. But if you see symbol A, definitely it is once, right? So that is why, anyway, so if you cannot understand that part, forget about that thing. You need unique symbols. After 9, 10 is not a unique symbol. It's using 1 and 0. Therefore, here is an A, B, C, D, F. And all the number systems, basically base 16 stops when 15. Base 8 stops when 7. Base 2 stops when 1. Base 10 stops when 9. That is also given here. That is what we have done, and that is a summary of this day lesson. Next day, I'll be covering the remaining part, right? Please pass the message if you have friends and all, so that we have started 24, because I couldn't start with my time schedule. There are a lot of students asking, but they have joined other classes. I cannot help them because I had to postpone continuously 3 times. Now, anyway, once we started, it is like express train. We will continue to do like this. And good night. See you all next week.
Good night, sir.